Okay. Hi and welcome to my YouTube channel. So as you saw from the thumbnail and title, in this video I am sharing my F-1 visa interview experience. So yeah, so I had my visa interview from the Chennai Consulate, and my biometric was also from Chennai location. I got the appointment for my biometric on the 2nd of June, and my interview date was 3rd June. Luckily, I got both my OFC and my interview on consecutive dates. But I know few of my friends who had like a gap of week or 2 weeks between their OFC and interview dates. But I really wanted to get, consecutive days for both my OFC and my visa interview, and I think I got lucky with the dates. But yeah, anyway, so my OFC was on 2nd June and my interview was on 3rd June. So we left from Bangalore to Chennai on June 1st. We reached Chennai around 3 p.m. and then we took accommodation in a hotel called as Grand One Tower, which was pretty close to both the OFC appointment center as well as the Chennai Consulate office. It was hardly like 1 kilometer away from the location that we were staying, and the hotel was also pretty nice. It had like few cafes and restaurants nearby, so it was easy to grab food and then like go for the interview. So my biometric appointment was on June 2nd, and that was actually a Sunday. So the biometric appointment center actually works from 8 to 5 p.m. if it's a working day, that is from Monday to Friday, and then they have an off on Saturday, and on Sundays they are open again from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. I guess. Yeah. So June 2nd was actually a Sunday, and my appointment time was 2:30 p.m. But I went early. I reached the center around 1:30 p.m. and the security, like, he just randomly checked my OFC appointment printout that I carried, and then he just let me in. Then they guided me to an area where there were like few people waiting to get their biometric done, and the entire process, like, it got completed in, I think, around 30 minutes. Yeah, that was it. And you need to carry just your appointment confirmation printout, then your DS 160 confirmation printout, and then just your passport. And these same documents you also need to carry on your this thing, the visa interview as well. It should be the same documents because they'll stick some things and all. So yeah, I think for that. Okay, so that was it for the biometric. It was pretty smooth, but I would recommend, like, if you're planning to go as early as possible and get it done with, because if you wait for the appointment time, then I think more people will start coming in and the queue might get lengthy, and it will take more time than expected. So for me, like, my in time for the biometric was 1:30 p.m. and my out time was like 1:50 p.m. or 2 p.m. It just hardly took 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah, so that was it for my OFC appointment. My visa interview was on June 3rd, as I mentioned. So for my visa interview as well, I did the same thing. I reached there early. My appointment time was 10 a.m., but I reached the center around 8:30 a.m. And there they just checked my DS 160 confirmation page, my appointment confirmation page, and they just let me in. But make sure that you're not carrying any mobile phones, because they will not allow you to enter the building if you have any electronics items with you. So just make sure you don't have your mobiles and things like that. It's better to keep everything in the hotel and then go for the visa interview. And if possible, just carry a small bottle of water in a transparent bottle, because for the visa the queue can be very lengthy. So it's always safe to have some water with you in case you feel very drained. Yeah. So for the visa interview, I carried all my documents. The night before itself, I sorted everything. My mark sheets, my the decision letter from my college, my funding documents, everything I properly organized it and then took it in a file. Even though that my officer did not ask me for any documents, but I carried it because that's the norm, right? We don't know what they'll be asking, so it's better to carry everything with proof, so that we are on the safer side. So yeah, so I entered the consulate office at around 8:30 a.m. and they asked me to sit with a few people who were waiting for their interview. And yeah, I think the waiting time was 2 hours, because I had my interview at around 10 a.m. Yeah, 10 or 10:30. I think it was around 10:15. Yeah, between that time I had my interview. So even though I entered the building at around 8:30 a.m., I had to wait till 10:15 a.m. to, get my interview done. Okay, coming to the dress code, even I was confused as to what to wear for the biometric and the interview. I was also searching, a lot of YouTube videos as to see what people vote. But yeah, to be honest, like from my experience, I feel what you wear doesn't matter. All you have to make sure is that you're presenting yourself in a very neat and professional manner. So even though I wore a formal outfit for both my biometric and my visa interview, after once I got done with my interview, I understood like the dress is just a very very minor factor when it comes to a lot of other things. But having said that, yeah, I wore the same dress for both my biometric and my visa interview. I wore a formal trouser and a shirt. Just keep it very simple and minimal, and like groom yourself well and present yourself in a very neat, confident and professional manner. That's all that matters. Yeah, so that is regarding the dress code. And yeah, things to carry also I mentioned, make sure you carry all your documents, your mark list, your transcript, your degree certificates, your funding documents, DS 160 confirmation page, then the service receipt fee, because if you're applying for F1, that you need, your appointment fee payment confirmation page, things like that. So yeah, regarding my interview experience, so as soon as I went in for my interview, the visa officer asked me to hand him over my I-20 and passport. So I gave him my I-20 and passport, and then he asked me when I graduated. So I answered it accordingly, and then he asked my CGPA as well. So I just answered that as well, and then he asked me, since I was working, he asked me how I got the job. So I answered that question also. It was pretty simple, the first few questions, and then he asked me about my funding, like how I'm funding my education. So in my case, I did not have a loan sanctioned during my visa interview. So in the I-20, it was mentioned as family sponsorship. So I had sponsorship from the university that I was that I got the admission from. Then I had few personal funds, and then family sponsorship. So I told him this is the way I'm funding my education. So then he asked me again, so you said you have an education loan sanctioned, right? So then I was like, no officer, I don't have the education loan. My funding is completely through family sponsorship, scholarship from the university, and my personal funds. Because like if you lie there, he might ask for the sanction letter, and then if I don't have the letter, then that can be a black mark, right? So I did not want to do that. I just told him the truth, that this is how I'm funding. Unless and until you don't have a proof to show, it's better to answer accordingly. So yeah, that's what I did. And then what was the question? Yeah, so since I said family sponsorship, he asked me what my parents were doing. So I told like, yeah, this is my parents' occupation and things like that. So yeah, that's it. And then he said, your visa is approved, you will get your passport in like a week or so. Yeah, that's it. Like the entire interview just lasted for, I would say, 30 to 40 seconds. But yeah, the wait time was from 8:30 to 10 a.m. I had to wait for this 30 to 40 seconds interview, because that's how many people you will be seeing in the Chennai Consulate office. Yeah, just be prepared, have a bottle of water with you, hydrate yourself, be confident, and just go for it, because it's pretty simple. If you have all your documents with you, if you know the answers properly, then I don't think there's anything to worry about. Even though I was also tensed whether I'll get the visa approved or not. But yeah, that was my experience. I really hope this helps at least a few of the people who will be having their interview from the Chennai Consulate office. Yeah, anything else did I miss? I think no. Yeah, that's it. I hope this was helpful. So all the best to all of you who are appearing for the visa interview. That's it. Bye bye.